My name is Rich Ivry, and I'm a professor of psychology and neuroscience at the University of California, Berkeley. I direct the Cognition and Action Lab, and the focus of our lab is to understand human performance. How is it that people can perceive, recall information, make decisions, and importantly, how do we actually manipulate our environment? How do we move about our environment?
Hello, my name is JT, and I'm a PhD student in the labs. And before I joined the lab, I worked as a licensed physical therapist, helping people with neurological disorders learn and reacquire skilled movements. In order to better restore function, I needed a better understanding of how the brain worked. And that's what brought me back to do a PhD with Rich Ivry.
Now, we aren't physicians here, so we aren't working with people with these different types of neurological disorders to try to be involved directly in their treatment. Rather, our work is really focused at the basic science level. I began working with people with ataxia, about 40 years ago, back when I was in graduate school, and we were conducting some research to understand the different movement problems that are associated with, say, ataxia and Parkinson's disease.
You know, I think that the hardest thing is not being able to type as well. We type now one finger pecking. I don't drive because my eyes go back and forth so much that I'm afraid somebody will cut me off and I will be the cause of some accident.
In September 2019, I developed and launched a novel platform for online neuropsychological testing. I like to call it PONT. PONT demonstrates the feasibility and efficiency of conducting online neuropsychological experiments on individuals with Parkinson's disease or cerebellar degeneration.
Over the years, we've continued to study all sorts of different ideas about ataxia and all sorts of different behavioral problems there. In some sense, some of the work is an extension of our initial interest in the cerebellum as an internal timekeeper, or more, perhaps I'd describe it as a system, a part of the brain that's really important for looking into the future, for generating predictions.
I'm Carolyn. I'm a full-time research associate in the lab, and I want to talk about how exercise can enhance not only physical health, but also cognition. Despite this, many adults don't engage in a regular exercise routine due to the fact that it's strenuous, boring, and time-consuming. In this study, we're investigating whether virtual reality environments can be combined with exercise to enhance physical health, cognitive functioning, and sensory motor performance. We'll compare performance between two groups of adults who complete traditional exercise and the virtual reality enhanced exercise.
I'm looking at movements as a window into cognition. We use high-resolution devices to record movements while people perform simple motor tasks, and using different manipulations to the visual feedback, we reveal new phenomena that are related to fundamental questions in human cognition, specifically in learning and memory.
We have recently developed a web-based system to study how humans control their movement and adapt their behavior in the changing environment. Participants from all over the world can get access to our experiment from their personal computer. They make a movement on the trackpad or using a mouse to hit a target presented on the monitor.
And we believe that this research has important implications for understanding and treating motor deficits in individuals with movement disorders such as cerebellar ataxia.
Here we are at the Henry H. Wheeler Jr. Berkeley Imaging Center. Here is where we collect our functional magnetic resonance imaging data, also known as fMRI. We use a large-scale data-driven approach to collect a lot of data per individual so that we can map the functional behavior of the cerebellum across tasks, from a range of motor behavior tasks to more cognitive language-style tasks.
Our lab uses many methods of what we call cognitive neuroscience. Some of it involves new technologies like brain imaging, or what we call non-invasive brain stimulation, where we transiently perturb or alter brain function. But much of it involves behavioral studies involving people with neurological disorders.
For instance, this is a coil that we use for TMS, where there is electricity generating inside the coil and a magnetic field that comes out from it. And when you put this magnetic field on your head, you can actually stimulate the brain of the participant and enhances whatever the area under the coil it is. And right now I am targeting the muscle of her index finger.
Research is a very collaborative effort. I mean, there's not an image there of someone up in an ivory tower kind of coming up with an idea and then, having an aha moment. It really requires a very interactive process, both between members of the research team where they bounce ideas around with each other, but also again through our interactions in the experiments we do. That running one experiment gives us ideas for the next experiment and so forth. It's a continuing cycle, hopefully always moving forward to better understanding of both the brain and the behavior that it enables.